Welcome to the Money Collective podcast. We're here to uplift your financial well-being. Your hosts are me, Mel Pearce, and Darlene Yu. We are the co-founders of the Money Collective, and together we have over 50 years of finance and banking experience. We provide the tools, information, and guidance to better understand your money and feel confident making money decisions.
Hi there.
Hi
it's
there.
Darlene and Mel from the Money Collective and
doing?
episode 5
Woo!
of our podcast. Yay! Welcome back if you've listened to all of the others so far or so.
Imagine the celebrations we'll have when we get to podcast 10.
Oh my gosh.
Episode 10.
Exactly.
And 50 and then 100 and then season, 2.
I know. Season 2. Yeah. We've got so much to talk about.
We do.
We've been holding back for years.
We have. So watch out. Awesome. So we are going to start off every single episode with a bit of a truth from ourselves. I went first last time, so it's your turn.
My turn.
Yep.
All right.
What's happened?
My
for you?
truth today, and I am open for any advice and any support. I certainly, just because we do financial wellbeing coaching and know a lot about money, don't have all the answers. So mine this week is I've got a 12-year-old daughter, Lily, and it's what do you do at home with pocket money? And
Ooh.
I know, right? So not even a few months ago, a couple of months ago, we agreed she is quite driven by wanting things at the moment. She's a 12-year-old girl, right?
Running hungry.
Because she wants stuff. And so I thought a good idea would be to map out, what sort of chores she could do
Slave
at
labor.
home. I know.
Love
So
it.
I struggle with all of this.
Correct.
And if you're anyway, I'll get onto that. But if you're part of the household, shouldn't you just do some stuff? Anyway,
Yes, that's right.
So where we agreed, where that line is in our house is that you have to clean your room and look after your own room. That's your own space anyway. Do what you want with it. That doesn't get, any money if you clean it up. That's just part of living.
Yep.
But the agreement was you unpack the dishwasher each day and set the table. That was it. And for that, I said we worked it out very detailed. I'm analytical, and she already had read into it. I don't think she's going to do it every day. So if she does that every day, it's $21 a week. So basically it's $2 to do the dishwasher and $1 to do the setting of the table.
Got it. So
Week 1. So this started because she wanted something, and I can't even remember what the thing was that she really wanted now. She did it. She was great. Got her $21. Fantastic. She went and bought that thing, straight away, and it was done and dusted. So then we were out.
So it worked for 1 week is what you're telling me.
1 week.
1 week.
1 week only.
Then what happened?
So then we went shopping, just general shopping the following weekend, and she saw something she wanted and got me in a weak moment.
Ooh.
And I bought the thing. And I had the conversation with her before I bought it, and I said, look, if I buy it, it was $30. And I said, if I buy it, it means that you're in debt.
Right.
So this is, me coming out.
This is
You're
good.
in debt and you're in deficit, and it means you need to do, the work jobs until it's paid back.
Yes.
And so there's no money coming your way until it's paid back. Yes, Mum. Yes, I will do that. How many times between that, we're now nearly 2 weeks gone.
Okay.
Do you reckon she's unpacked the dishwasher or set the table?
2 times.
Once. She's done the dishwasher once.
So I came across this same problem. So there is no going into debt with me. There is no debt.
That's my lesson.
No, if you want it, then if you haven't got the money, I'm not paying for it.
That is the answer.
I love saying no.
Through.
You can't have that piece of crap that you want.
Yes.
Save up for that. And then I don't care where the money, how it comes from.
to
So
you.
we do a similar thing with $20 a week as well. And we just have, participate in the family, pull your weight type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. And in my brain too, that $20 a week is, hey, a bit of parental duty to make sure they've got food to eat, and if they're stuck somewhere, they can get home.
Well, that's where I was. So I was thinking the same thing.
I have the same mentality that Because I'm not particularly reliable to make their food or for them to even do it themselves. So I do worry about that.
It's always good to have that. And I was thinking the same. Have the availability of money and,
And have them manage it too. Like to have that responsibility of going, well, hang on, how am I going to manage this? And if I run out, then what resources do I have to pull on if I'm stuck somewhere? Because calling mum and saying I don't have money for a train or a bus ride isn't going to make...
No, it's going to be great.
Yeah, nah. I love this.
Yeah.
Let's continue this journey.
I will, but I definitely hear you, and I've done this in the past. In the past I've taken to a shop and she's had some money and she couldn't buy the things she wants, and I've walked out. I have been strong at times, but this time I wasn't. So I love that advice. I'm getting back on the bandwagon there, and but
Go
the
strong.
thing is, do I call it quits and draw the line and say we start again, and take your advice, and then if you don't have the money, do it, or do I still make her pay back?
Make her pay that back. That was the rule.
Yes.
You guys and agreed to it.
We did.
If there was a mutual agreement, you need to see out the contract.
Should have got her to sign.
This is a hard life
line.
lesson.
I know.
That's what I would say anyway. See it through.
See it through. Okay.
Anyway.
I'll get back the 28.
Let's
okay,
see how it
got
goes.
it. I'll keep you posted.
Okay. All right. So mine is more to do about me and not about my kids. A few weeks back, it might have even been in the very first episode, I said that I went back and I categorized all my spending and checked all my past spending. And I did that. But the reason why I did that is because my accounts are not balancing, and I am, what did they say? Robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Oh, yes, they do say that.
Something like that. Yes. I do not know the origins of that.
You're pulling money from different accounts
I am.
to make things work.
Money shuffling, and I don't love it, and I'm doing it regularly. So my accounts are not working for me, and it is because of the cost of living. It has gone up extremely. And my old system has failed, and I need to set up a new one. So I did that original task, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I now need to do the next step.
Yes.
So that is, I'm putting it out there, making a public declaration that I'm going to look at my accounts on the weekend and sort that out, because I need to know the full reality of my situation. And what this means is that I'm going to have to adjust some savings goals and other goals that I've got, because my cost of living's gone up.
Yeah.
And I am not living in reality right now by money shuffling.
Yeah. And just re-establish the new buckets.
That's right.
Yep. It will feel better after you do it.
It will. I know. Yeah. So I got to do it. I don't know why I put it off, and it's not even that hard, but going to go in and do it.
The fear of what it's doing to your goals, maybe, but...
Oh, totally that.
Yeah.
I'm living in denial.
Yeah. But it's okay. Once you know the answer, you'll be able to work through what's best.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, very good.
Well,
all right, topic of the day.
We want to talk about money personalities.
Yeah.
We love money personalities.
Oh my gosh. So we've been working on our financial wellbeing program that we've built and that we deliver over the last 4 years. So money personalities was the very first thing.
It was.
And it was Mel's baby.
It was.
And Mel we have developed our own money personalities, and
I'm so proud because they've stood the test of time.
they are so good,
and
they're so relevant.
When you make something up and it's brand new and you go, this could be a thing, I really believe in it. And I remember writing out all the personalities and the long form of this means this, if you have this, and how they interact with each other. So because we all inhibit lots of personalities. We're not just one thing, and then we're interacting with our immediate people around us, So how does that all come together is the point of understanding money personalities for us.
Yeah, and why do we even care? Yeah.
Why do we care? Oh my God, it's groundbreaking. Just going to say, somebody should do a university degree on this. No.
Absolutely. Could. Yeah.
But we have named 4 money personalities. So we came up with them and we called them the risk taker, the avoider, the spender, and the saver.
Yes, they're our 4.
In no particular order.
That's right. And none is better than the other, which might be
They are neither good nor bad. They are what they are.
Surprising to some, but that's right. Everything has good bits about it, and some things you might like to change or be aware of or manage differently. Yeah.
And so, in our podcast notes, you'll find the link to our money personality quiz. It's an online quiz, and you can find out what your money personality is. And today we're going to break down what each personality means and what that means in relationships as well.
Yeah, good. All right. Where should we start, Mel? Oh, how about Mel? What personality are you?
Oh, sure. Right. Well, I am coming up as a bit of a saver, but I do know that my inherent money personality is, if I'm being completely honest, is a spender.
And spender is not bad. See, I could feel it in your vibe there, Mel.
No. I'm very proud of being a spender.
Yes. Are you sad that you moved to be a saver?
Yes, a little bit. Like, I'm boring. I don't want to be a freaking boring saver. But I think because my results when I'm doing the quiz are coming out very saver oriented, like it's like this balance between the two, and saver is coming out stronger for me because of my actual behaviors, because of all the money work. And this is crap too, because like we don't want to say that savers are the best. So if you change all your money habits and you're all growing with your money, you're going to be a saver, and that's the epitome of.
Exactly. I think it will change depending on what your goals may be in life at the moment. So Mel is saving to go to Canada, which is really, really important.
But also things are tough at the moment,
right?
Oh,
cost of living.
So like we have to like rein it in and have more of those think before we buy moments.
Yes, which takes away from that bit of spontaneity.
So I wish that things were a little bit more free to get back into my normal realm of spending.
Yeah. So let's talk about spender then, though.
Okay.
What's a spender do?
I would say inherently a spender is somebody who is a bit doesn't think about the consequences so much of the spending, and in the moment will decide and in their mind justify an expense or some spending. And that could be in a very daily sense of going, when you do grocery shopping, what type of items you're buying. I will want to buy good quality items, organic and good produce, and I won't care so much because I'll justify it as I go as I'm spending, right? And I will want to go out and have a good time. It's that continuous justification in my brain that I value these things. I want to have a good time. I love the people around me. Let's go celebrate. So for me, that's been a journey. Like I have even come to the point now where I say to my friends, I've run out of money this week. I can't go out for dinner. Like that's a shock. Like for me to say things like that. Do you want to come over and have a drink?
You still get to celebrate and hang around the people.
That's right. Just do it very differently and not. But I would also probably, say that like have a bit of that mentality. I've worked hard. I can enjoy myself too. Yeah. So I would say that there's good. There's pros and cons to each money personality, and the pros of a spender are they're the good people, they're the fun time people, and they're the ones who are going to drag you out and make you have a good time, right? They're like, let's go do it.
Yay! How fun's that? Or they might be gifters, and I know Mel's not so much, doesn't value that as much, but spenders,
Spend it on myself, is that what you're saying?
No! Celebrate and have lots of fun with people, definitely.
I have been accused of being selfish.
No, it's that you don't value material things as much. That's just who it is. So that because you don't value getting a gift as much.
No,
you'd rather
I did enjoy my recent 40th birthday party.
You did. There was a lot of celebration and fun, and the gifting. Okay. So you could do it, for yourself or others.
So there's those things, but then obviously the things that I need to be aware of is how much that costs and what impact that is having on the future, because I'm living in the now and looking for that immediate gratification, I suppose. So but I'll sort it out later attitude, like I'll work it out, there's plenty of time for that.
It's because you're really optimistic. So
for me, having that that's what the awareness that I've needed to build for myself, is to go, well, hang on, this is where adding up, and I have talked about it before, you know, like knowing where my money's going, categorizing it, because I know where the line items go, which go crazy. And it's usually around food, eating out, and just... do you know what's changed for me? You know how you said about I'm not as materialistic? I used to buy crap all the time. So I had this line item that I couldn't even I didn't even know what the crap was that I was buying. Like it was, and I just called it miscellaneous shopping.
Okay.
And I couldn't put a name. It had a huge number. And it was like $13,000 a year of miscellaneous shopping.
Yeah.
That meant nothing to me. So I used to do it.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't, I'm like, I have no idea what this is. I cannot remember what that purchase was.
And it doesn't even make me feel good.
It had and so I cut that out.
Yeah.
Because it meant nothing to me. I didn't value it. I'm like, and it actually made me feel like crap looking at that number.
Yeah.
So, that's where I've had to rein in and go, hey, look at my spending, because that's showed me, because my brain isn't going to tell me, oh, Mel, you've overspent. My brain does not do that.
It brings back the mindfulness.
Totally.
Yeah.
And to go, well, when I know that just that adds up to that much money when I do that behavior and knowing what it does to my future planning, it's so much easier for me to say no, thank you, no.
Yeah.
I don't do that all the time. And I think I've come in and out of phases where it creeps back. I start doing it, then I go back and have a look and go, no.
Actually, it's a really good tip, isn't it? So if you really connect back to, that thought of every time I start to do it, I look at the number and think, oh, no. At least you know the task that you can do to bring yourself back. That's really
so cool. Because I'm not innately going to do that, that's where I need the skills and the discipline, and this is why I call it out, so you guys can say, hey, Mel, have you done it? How are you going? And then I feel much more empowered knowing what my numbers are. And having support around me and learning from other people.
And another good tip for spenders, people really worry. So when you set up bank accounts, you can set up as many bank accounts for different things as you want to make your system work. And people think, oh, that's cumbersome and that's really complicated. But it actually makes it easier. And our advice to spenders is have as many accounts as you need.
Yes. For me, that journey was... When I started, I thought I'll have a variable expense account where I do my spending out of. And then I'd be like, oh, hang on, I just ate all my clothes. Like, or if I go clothes shopping, I'm wearing all my food. Like, it just ran out. It was not, so I had to go have an account for clothes, an account for eating out, an account for groceries. And I had to break it down like that minutely, and then that is a little bit annoying to operate like that, to be honest. And so I get to stages where I put it back into a joint one account, and I just have much more awareness. But if I slip, I go back and I go, I have to, and it's a bit about the truth that I had earlier up top. I'm like, hang on, I'm out of balance,
let's get it back in,
reel it back in. What are these accounts doing? Because I need the structure to support me.
And I think that's really important, and not feeling like I'm bad, because in our society we do lots of workshops in workplaces, and and the common thing is people think they're a saver. Oh, look at me, I'm great, woo! But let's talk about saver. Saver is not all great.
Hang on, are you a saver? What are you?
I am.
Is this where we're going?
I am. Okay. I am actually a risk taker, though. I'm a risk taker saver.
Okay.
And I can move between the two.
So let's talk about saver first.
Yep. So saver, I think that everyone knows the good side of a saver means you might have savings for a rainy day, and you're quite disciplined about doing that.
You might have a budget and a spreadsheet set up.
Oh, you might. You might spend a lot of your life doing that. Is that great? I don't know. What are you trading off?
You're getting control by doing that. You're feeling like you're managing your money well. I think that a saver is somebody who says that they're managing their money well. They
do. They like to think that they are doing that. I as a saver, I think about constantly though, what are the bad bits of being a saver for me? Because a saver can mean, and I remember when I was younger, and again, I've learnt a lot, obviously, about doing this through our money lives. So I have shifted, but I'd say my revert back to personality is saver. And at my wedding, here's a story. At my wedding, somebody stood up and basically, I was known for, being saving every penny. And that comment was in the MC speech.
Right.
So that was triggering for me.
Yeah.
So there is good, but basically the trade-off is that
Do you remember what the comment was?
Oh,
can I go back there?
Oh, I need to get the video out. It's so long ago. I mean, I was married 30-something years ago, so I can't remember.
Was it about
words.
being frugal about the wedding, or was it more about just that's your personality? She's a saver.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Did you feel like you were being called stingy?
Yes.
Yeah.
I felt like I was being called stingy.
And not generous. And
yes, not generous. Yeah, not generous, and feeling
stingy and selfish.
It came across also is that
emotions.
like people always think I'll have it sorted, So
you felt responsibility with that.
Yeah, definitely responsibility as well. Like she's got her first dollar. It was something along those lines. She has the first dollar in the bank that she made.
Oh, right. Got it.
It was
the first dollar. You've still got the first dollar you've ever made.
Yes. That was the comment. So, but what the trade-off can be, and then my husband, and we'll talk about relationships as well. I remember he used to say to me, really early on, he might wanted to go on a holiday or do something, and then I would always poo-poo it because, I was always safe for a rainy day, save for the future. Save for 100 years. Did
you have a dollar amount on that? Like how much was safe?
No, the more the better. I just wanted to see it grow. It was all about, and I would look at, I shall come back to that. You might look at your bank account, 3 times a day, so is that a behaviour that you could have as a saver? That you're constantly looking at your bank account because you like to see the number or you want it to be more.
I looked at mine 3 times a day, but just to see if I could spend it.
No, this is just
completely
to see
different.
What the number was more than it was yesterday. Yeah. So the potential downside is you live too much for the future, and are you really present and living life for today? Like, is that in balance? I would question some people.
We were talking about this in a workshop yesterday, and somebody said pretty much that I'm about to retire. I've been a saver, and I feel a bit bad about that.
Yeah,
my life's been a bit boring.
Life's been a bit shit. Boring. That's right. It's all right to, it's great, but particularly as you get older, the rainy day or the worry of that thing may never have happened. And then you can't go back. I mean, you've lost all that time. So you really do need to just be aware of that.
This is too where that power play comes in because people like me go, I'm bad with money. I'm so bad with money. I'll never get it right and I'll never have enough to retire on. I've got that mentality. And you were like, I'm not saying you are, but more I'm responsible for this. I've got this. I'm good with money is a common thing. Like I've got this, you know? Yeah. No, I'm fine.
Yeah. I mean,
and then me having a relationship with you, let's say, in a marital relationship. I'm not in a marital relationship with you, but it would be wonderful. Maybe one day.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, but those power plays within those relationships is hard. If we've got an inferior and
it is, or that perception of one.
It's not even
better.
true.
It's not true.
It's not true.
It's not. And
we need each other too to lift each other up and to somebody to keep people like me in line a little bit.
Oh, it's still coming out.
They're all equal as far as what's important or what's not.
Exactly. It's just about understanding it. And then work out in your money personality what's working for you and where you're really happy and comfortable, or where are the things or you're spending energy that you might not want to. That's all. So.
And finding the places where they're not. But we might go to that a little bit later. Let's talk about the other 2 personalities. So you're also a risk taker,
I am a risk taker. So
what does that mean?
A risk taker basically means that I want to try things. I'm happy to put money somewhere that has a bit of risk attached to it, or just in life. That really gets me excited. If there's an opportunity that I can see an opportunity for growth, but I know that I know that it comes with risk. I mean, anything that you do, has risk and reward attached to it, and it might fail or it might succeed. But I am drawn to those opportunities where I'm happy to give things
opportunities that you've gone with?
Yeah, well, I mean, I self-employed, right? So Mel and I started the Money Collective. Prior to that, I had another business. So really driven to see what could I possibly do? What if? And the courage, in the positive terms, the courage to take a risk, to have a go, to see what we can do. So definitely stepping in to be self-employed, is an example of being a risk taker. And probably with the business, I take risks every day.
Yes, we certainly do. So I've definitely got a bit more of a risk. I got a little bit of a risk taker. We've all got a little bit of everything. In it. But I would let's just go into risk taker a little bit more too, because if you don't have a balance, particularly with your so you've got an analytical mind and it's balanced with saver.
That's right.
So you're
measured.
You're taking measured risks.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the saver component, let's say you're a spender risk taker. That's where the midlife crisis and the red Ferrari comes in.
Or maybe the bank account balance is zero and you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
And it's a little bit of roulette, casino life happening. Because that's a definite personality too, where you just throw caution to the wind. I'm going to have a go. That sounds great. And it may or may not pay off. So with risk comes reward, but also potential loss as well.
Correct.
So that is definitely interesting, because sometimes that pays off. And we look at high flyers, right? Because high flyers, they're the people who are risk takers. They are business people, they're entrepreneurs. And you see some people who go through those, lots of different businesses, and they go well and then they fail. Yeah. The highs and the lows.
Definitely. I studied entrepreneurs actually at uni, and it's a fascinating subject, and fascinating in that, the DNA of an entrepreneur. And it is, they don't care about whether I make money, lose money. That's irrelevant to them. It's completely the opportunity of what I can do or what I can create. That's why if they fail, they don't care.
Yeah, that's right.
They don't care. It's irrelevant.
But some people do, right? So that's like a breed of entrepreneurs.
Yeah, that's
but
huge.
Then you've got a bit of everyday people who are risk takers, who don't necessarily have skills but have made life choices.
Yeah.
And that have really impacted a lot of people around them. And then they become untrustworthy within their units.
So that could be a trade-off too. The people around you don't trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you might be put on, blocked out of managing accounts and things like that, having to ask permission.
Yep.
What does that do psychologically?
Not great. Yeah.
So being a risk taker, you can, so you're good because you're able to self-manage your risk taking, but some people can't. So being able to this is where accountability is so important.
I was going to say, and having support around you that can...
To understand what the risks are for you, what your shortcomings are within your own money personality, because we all have them.
We have strengths and we have things that aren't serving us well.
That's right. And sometimes you can manage counterbalance that within yourself. Sometimes you can do it within a relationship or close friendships, but sometimes we can't do it at all.
Yep, that's right.
Because we don't know how to, we don't have the skills, or we don't have the network.
Yeah. Exactly. And it comes back to why do we need to know money personality? Because then we become more mindful. We can become more mindful and
that's
thoughtful
right.
about what we do.
Yeah. So it's all about our behaviour. So the last money personality that we have is called an avoider. And they are people who are a lot paralysed, who will be quiet when it comes to this whole topic, probably.
Yeah.
May not be listening to this podcast, for example. But we all have elements of this where we don't want to face something or want to avoid it. And there's many reasons why we do that. So these are innate behaviours, so things that we need to learn about ourselves. And it also comes from our money stories, which we're going to talk about coming up.
Yeah. But I see avoiders. Avoiders can have money in the bank, definitely
Totally.
because they can't make a decision. They're not comfortable to make a decision about actually what to do. So they may not make a decision at all. So, I definitely think avoiders can be savers.
Totally.
Depends,
but they're usually the harshest people on their situation. They go, I'm so terrible. I don't know anything about money. I'm bad with money. I just don't know. This is a good one. I knew I should have, done something, but I just didn't. And then when you go in and have a look at how bad their situation is, it's never
bad.
As bad as what
I think avoiders feel they're really bad with money.
Yeah,
and
really
spenders feel that.
Inflated this cataclysmic thing of things are worse than what it's going to be, or their tolerance to risk is much lower. It's like the opposite to a risk taker. It's like, oh, that really scares me. I don't want to do it. They're definitely the people who are more prone to be thrift shopping, op shopping,
sales,
not buying things.
Not buying at all.
And have, keep their appliances for a million years type of people. So I'm sure we can all think of people in our lives who are that. And if you are on this podcast and you're an avoider relating to this, then I'm so excited for you to be here as well. That's right. Awesome.
Yeah, think about all the good things about it. You might have money for a rainy day.
So the advice for an avoider would be to arm yourself with information. Think about what you're scared about. Think about your long-term goals, and it really is planning out. So prioritizing things and taking really small baby steps. So some people might want to plan the whole lot out, and that may be what you want to do. So and then just know what the next step is that you need to do to get there. Because the overwhelm for you is going to creep in much quicker than everyone else. And I think when we don't know the next step, then we don't do anything. And so you might not know, because you're bad with money, for example, know what to do, so you do nothing. It's about finding the right people again around you that you feel safe with, and that also might be more hard for you to find those safe people that you can have these conversations with.
You could be a really good buddy though for a risk taker. You could be, be able to, put the risk hat on and say, "Oh, but what if?"
Yes, I would say that's probably the hardest relationship because they're not, least known to each other. But
a relationship.
So what about, do you want to talk about your relationship?
So relationships with money in your household then, so if we've just talked about, the personality types.
How does that play out for you?
So really think about the people in your life and what money personalities they might have, and what, have you ever looked at it from their point of view?
That's right.
Because, they will bring something great to it as well. And it really is just about open communication and conversation. But, it's not always a right or a wrong way. So, think about how that's playing out in your household. So, for my household, my partner is a saver predominantly. So I find because we've got those two saver innately and me a bit of a risk taker, so I do a bit more of the risk, but from a saver perspective it sort of seems to work. We've never, because we both want to save a bit more for that rainy day, but and we spend a bit. It's quite balanced. It's a bit boring. It sounds really boring.
I would say, though, knowing you for a long period of time, though, that you're definitely the person people come to, for advice around money. So I would say that probably responsibility around that. How do you feel around that?
Oh, definitely. So me personally, this is I could unpack my whole money story, but I need 3 hours right now. So definitely, I have taken the role in the family, the broader family, the work that I do, as being the responsible person with money. I actually think though it's helped, and I'm backing away from this a bit at the moment. That's the bit of ego, maybe, that bit of, I feel, where I add value to the world is being good with money, that feeling or thought that is not true, around money. So I've used that as the thing to make me feel good about myself. But I don't want the money to be the thing to make me feel good about myself and that responsibility. And I want people to have their own responsibility and make their own decisions. So as I said, I have really backed away. I don't tell people what to do with their money. I think that's the way for me to learn and evolve, and it's certainly good for people to learn and evolve. Just make your own choices.
That's so interesting. For me, my partner is, I would say, a traditional saver, but definitely not analytical in the way. Well, actually, I was going to say that because he doesn't engage in spreadsheets or doing all of this. But saying that's just reminded
like to join
me.
The dots and stuff.
He absolutely loves to join the dots, and he has a diary. So he doesn't do computers and emails and technology. The bare minimum.
His diaries are detailed.
His
about
diaries.
Where he spends his time.
Yeah. Yes. So he could tell you what he's done every day, work day of his life for the last 15 years at least, and exactly how many litres and how much it costs fuel-wise.
That sounds very analytical.
Every single fill up that he's done, and he has projections. He knows what he's done year on year, expenses versus income. He doesn't talk about it, so we don't come in, but he definitely comes in with pride at the end of the year when the diary is filled up and we need to do a breakdown. I pretend to be more interested than I am. I'm very proud of him, and I'm very grateful that he does these things too. Because so I have to be much more measured and go out and pay, and I have to sit down and go, right, Mel, force myself, sit down, do the work.
Yeah.
But then when he comes to the table and after I've done it, because that's how I get my understanding to see where our numbers, what's happening in our daily life, he just gets it like that. He'll walk very quick and join all the dots like you're saying. But he is, I wouldn't call him a risk taker. I should say he's definitely a saver, which means that we... and because mixed with my spender personality, we're still living in that everyday sense of our life, and I worry about our future a lot, for what we're going, working towards. But I don't know.
What the plans are. But it's really, I don't know. So, innately spender and him a saver. If you go back in time, how would that relationship play out at home around money or where we spend it? Or
well, I've always I haven't felt too controlled by him ever. He's always given me free range and I think he's always valued my independence as well.
Because you've always been independent.
Yes. And he, I don't know. I think we've also had a different balance, but a good balance that's supportive of us personally. In that. And I think the biggest skill that I've had to learn is how to communicate with him.
Yes.
Because I feel like I load money with emotions. And feel all that guilt and I should have done better.
Well, he would never think like that.
He doesn't.
I would never think like that. Like that analytical side is just...
It is what it is.
And the risk taker for me is move forward. What's happened is happened. Let's see what we can do.
And what are we going to do? He's he's a realist. Definitely a realist when it comes to money and things like that. So I am thankful for having that balance. I can see the benefits.
No, that's cool. But what I do see in some, spender saver relationships, if there is that imbalance where the saver thinks that
they're better
at it, you can see subtly over time that
it wears the other person down.
Feels less or a person. Their self-esteem is lower. So
I was definitely headed down that track too until I met you. And we started doing all of this. For sure. Then there's definitely other people too. So we had a business partner for a bit. AL, shout out to AL.
Shout out. We'll have him on as an invite. It's all fun.
Just having money conversations with different people and getting out there, out of my comfort zone and being honest with has really uplifted me.
Yeah. No, it's really, really important to have open and honest conversations with your partner at home about your money and actually reflect on how those examples might be playing out, because the more you can do that and look at it from each other's point of view, and accept each other's traits, then it will be heaps better.
And sometimes it's a long journey. I would say the turnaround for me, like I've been doing this for about 8 years, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know how long, but to get to the point where I am now, compared to the feeling that I used to have is so much different. So it pays off, but it's not. I think money is one of those things. It's not. You can't flick a switch on it to change.
It's constant. It's like your health. You have to work on it all the time.
It makes me think we need to do a podcast on compound interest.
Oh, yes. Okay, we'll add it to our list. We are building our content list. Yeah. So cool.
So good. Anyway, so that's, is there anything else for money personalities?
No, just leave you with the thought, find out what yours is. If you've got a partner, get them to do it. Just create the conversation. We do have on our, website through the quiz, you can look at the summary, of what those traits could look like. Yeah, and just have a chat.
Cool. And so our question of the day, and the question is, what is a mortgage prisoner?
Okay, a mortgage prisoner.
What is a mortgage prisoner? Have you heard that word? It's very similar.
It's new this year.
Mortgage cliff question we had last week or last episode.
It's a bit linked. So a mortgage prisoner is when you maybe got a loan when interest rates were low and interest rates have gone up now, and if you try to refinance, you can't. So you might want to refinance and get a better deal, but you can't because of your borrowing capacity. So basically your incomes, if you're applying for a loan today, you wouldn't have been able to borrow as much as you borrowed when you did
a couple of years ago. So
it means that you can't get a better loan and refinance.
Yeah, that's it. You are stuck. You got what you got.
Yeah. So what do you do, Mel?
Well, you call your bank up.
Oh, your broker?
Well, yeah, that's right. Well, hang on. You need to find out what position you're in, right? So if you're in a crappy loan, so you took out a loan and it's not great, so you've got a higher interest rate on it, and you just want to refinance for a better loan, you might go and see a broker, and the broker might tell you, hey, I'm so sorry, but you can't apply for another loan for those reasons that Darlene just said. You don't qualify, which in your brain might not make any sense because you're making your mortgage repayments and you applied for it the first time.
And you're repaying it back.
That's right. So, why wouldn't somebody give me a better interest rate to make me in a better position?
Doesn't make sense, does
it? You're improving my situation. Why are you saying that I can't afford a better position?
Yeah.
So, that reality doesn't make sense. So, so you're in that situation. That's what we're calling a mortgage prisoner. You're stuck in that loan that you've got because no other bank will take you on.
Yeah.
And they do that because there's rules around how much money you can borrow, and because the rates have gone up, they put on higher buffers. So that's why you could afford it when rates were low, but not now.
That's right. And that buffer generally is 3%. So if rates are today 6%, they're estimating your repayments at 9%, and whether you could make that loan repayment at that level.
Yeah. Sorry, can't afford it at 9%.
That's right.
So what would you do if you're in that situation and you've gone to see a broker and they can't refinance your loan? Then you've got to call your bank and say, give me a better rate. You actually, the words that you use are, I've just gone to see my mortgage broker. She's looking to refinance my home loan, and she's asked me to call you to ask for the best rate that you can possibly give me.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you call there, if you want to know where to call, each bank has a department called a retention team. I know these are internal bank names.
Yes.
But if you can remember that and you ask to speak to somebody in the customer retention team,
even if you call
they will give you a better rate.
And they will know if you just call up and say, I want a better interest rate, they'll send you to the right team.
Yeah. If you go to a branch, though, they may not. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what else were you going to say?
Yeah, I was also going to say, though, so of late, though, some of the banks are realising this problem with Mortgage Prisoner. And if you just are wanting a better loan application, there's some products coming out where they are switching loans between, they're offering that, and they're applying a reduced criteria.
Yeah, they're realising that this is not realistic. If you don't really want to increase your repayments, then hey, we shouldn't stop you from refinancing.
Yeah.
So they've made it relaxed.
Exactly. So definitely the second bit is engage a mortgage broker and to see what those current loan options are on the table. And just because even if the initial answer is no, you're stuck, then don't lose heart, though, because those deals and products from banks are coming out all the time. And I suspect over the next few months, more of them will come. So definitely keep really close with your mortgage broker and let them know to keep you informed if any new products come out, would be another thing to do. And then the third thing to do is understand what it means for you. You really need to go through your numbers. You've got to know your numbers, what's your income minus your expenses. Have you got anything left over? If not, can you get it back, into positive? What can you change to do that? And actually then look at your assets and, what maybe you need to change or juggle to get into that. That's right. Seek the advice of a financial wellbeing coach.
That's right. And be really clear on your values. Like I've had customers who have actually downsized because they're like, well, we can't afford this and this is not how we want to live our life. Yeah. And I'm certainly not suggesting that's what you should do, but being creative around what your options are and how you want to live your life. It should all be on the table.
Exactly. Maybe it's just different work options, could be something to look at as well. But yeah, really understanding and actually projecting it out, because you might have some backup funds, and how long are those backup funds going to carry you through? So this is where goal planning is critical in the work that you do, because you might want some milestones before, and at this milestone, because we are going to be in these interest rates for the next couple of years. So you can't hope that it's going to change. You're going to have to make the change that needs to happen to make your life work. Yeah.
Very good. All right. So we're wrapping it up now. And before we leave you, we want to leave you with a pondering question of what does financial wellbeing mean to you? Yeah. So we've given you some definitions of what financial well-being is, but just sit on that, do a little meditation on what are you striving for, and what does financial well-being mean for you?
Yeah.
And
what would be your happy place? Are you in it? Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you next time.
See you next one. At The Money Collective, we provide financial wellbeing premium coaching, mortgage broking and workplace financial wellbeing programs, which we couldn't do without the seamless support of our fabulous team.
If you'd like to find out more, head to themoneycollective.com.au or our socials to take action and engage our services. In our Facebook group, join the conversation and help us break down the taboo around money.
All content in this podcast is for educational purposes only and is general in nature. For tailored personal advice, please seek out a professional.